Okay, so this is part 2 of the discussion on adults' children's respect for parents. I had to actually stop suddenly on the video because I heard my brother coming, and when he has to come here through my room to go to the bathroom. He uses my bathroom. I don't let him take showers in here, but anyway, and so he never knocks. He just comes right in. I wish he would knock though. So that's another thing I have to do is, for my own respect, is for him to teach him to knock. You know, sometimes I lock my door because I need privacy, and naturally, you know, if a woman needs privacy in her room, if she's doing something and she doesn't want a male to walk in, you know, it doesn't matter if you're related or not. So, anyway, back to the point. I just can't really figure him out because he's just one example of many people that are disrespectful. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I've been that way sometimes, but not to the extent that he has, where he's like got this big grudge where he's only hurting himself. And I just feel like, you know, why should you spend the rest of your life worrying about what you think or what maybe your parents actually did to you? I know that, you know, a lot of people have been through really terrible things to cause a lot of tension with their parents. Like, you know, maybe their parents beat them all the time or were extremely abusive, maybe both of them. But my mother wasn't like that. She was just a little bit strict at times, but then there were things where she was very liberal about. You know, she just generously let us do certain things. And okay, so even though my brother, you know, my mother was strict and on certain things, I mean, we still had we had freedoms to do certain things. Now, when you're a child, you can't do everything you want to do, you know. And so, you know, you get to be an adult, those things should be put behind you. You should concentrate on your future, or your present moment, and your future as an adult. If you feel like those things that were done wrong by your parents that maybe weren't, or maybe they were, some certain things, you should concentrate on your role in your life as a parent or as a husband or whatever you do, and try to, you know, make the best of your life that way. And so, you know, with his attitude, losing his temper, I guess that's what comes with being a man. But that's not, doesn't mean a woman doesn't act the same way. So it's not about what gender you are. A woman can get really temperamental too. And I've gotten temperamental, so I've been there. So, don't really know what I should tell him, if I should write him an email and tell him that he should try to respect her more. I've sent him emails and other things, issues before, about things, and I don't know if it got through, and he never actually came to me and talked to me face to face. He just pretended like it never happened, or he didn't acknowledge it. So, you know, bit of advice: if your mother needs help moving a chair and she can't do it because her back hurts or she has problems, just help her move the freaking chair. I tried really hard to help her today, but I was not feeling well. But I got in there even though I was really in pain and my back was hurting, and I started dusting the walls and around the windows. Well, since she's getting ready to paint and all that stuff. And you know, I did my part today, and I did what I thought that I could to the best of my ability. And of course he goes to work all day, but there's no excuse for him not to help her. And then on the weekends, instead of getting this attitude like, why do I have to move it? Well, can't you move it yourself? Or, it's not heavy. Okay, so she's 66 years old. She's 5 feet tall, and she's older. She's twice his age, or something like that. And he's a big guy. He's 5'8", and he's not skinny, and so he can move the chair easily than her. And he's younger. He's got a good back. He's 42. Doesn't have any underlying or illnesses. He doesn't take any prescription medications, so he should be able to do this stuff. There is nobody else here now. My dad doesn't live here anymore, so he should take care of these things. It's his duty, his role to do the manly things, I think, that maybe a woman can't physically do. And so, you know, if people have a problem with that, and then that's their problem. I just hope that more people can learn to respect their parents more and not just throw them aside and cast them off as, you know, you're this old and you're stupid and you don't know any better. Our parents have been around longer than us, okay? At least 20 plus years longer than us, depending on when we were born. I mean, 20, 30 years, 40 years older than us, maybe? I don't know. But believe me, they've been around long enough to see life and how it works and everything. They're not newborn babies. They weren't born yesterday. We're just children compared to our parents. We're not physically children, but compared to them, we will always be younger than them, and we will always be the same age apart. Okay? So my mother will always be about 29 years older than me, and so she's got 29 years more experience than I do. And let's see, so she was about 24 when she had my brother in 1970. So she's got, 24 years of experience, more experience than he does. And she's seen it all. So, pick up a chair, if you see they're having trouble with something, don't wait until they ask for you to help them. If you see that they need help, say, okay, hold on a second, I'll help you here. I mean, because that's really lame. It's really lame if you say, well, you didn't ask me to help you. You didn't say anything. And I've been guilty of that, and I'm trying to learn not to be that way. So, I don't really know any more to say about this. I'm just trying to figure out why adult children have to be so cocky and know-it-all and think that, stuck up, and their noses are all stuck up because they act like they think they know more than their parents, and like their parents ought to be doing stuff or ought to know stuff. But, it's not like that. Generations are different. Not everybody's as smart as the child. Even sometimes parents, in certain ways, don't understand, like, the computers if they don't work with them like their adult children do. But there's a difference between having knowledge about something, or head knowledge and knowing how to work the computer, and there's a difference between that and wisdom. Wisdom is more like what you develop over years of experience, years of trial and error, years of learning from your mistakes. And heck, if you don't make a mistake in your life, if you think you don't make a mistake in your life, then you've got a problem. Because we learn from our mistakes. And all my mistakes that I've made over the years and learned how to do have taught me a lot of things. And so if you think you don't make mistakes and believe it, then maybe you're not learning anything. But you have to make some mistakes. It makes you human. And if you don't think that you make mistakes, then you're cocky and stuck up. And that's just my honest opinion. I'm not attacking individually one person. It's millions out there that have this attitude. And I have some more blogs to vent about, and I may do that tonight and I may not. But anyway, just try to remember the good things that your parents did for you over the years, or at least one of your parents. Maybe you had one that was abusive and one that was a little kinder to you and was there for you and took care of you. And remember that they're not always going to be there. And if something happens to them, you may be more guilt-ridden and upset than you thought you would be. And you may regret a lot of the things you said. Because people do leave. And do you think you're going to get a chance to say anything to them before that happens? You have to live each day if it were your last. Don't worry about thinking you're going to die tomorrow or something. Just live in the present. But at the same time, you've got to, remember to say good things so that if something does happen, you'll know that the last thing it was you said was either, I care about you, or I only say so-and-so because I care about you and stuff. And so if they don't ever come home because something happens to them, you'll know that the last thing you said was a good thing, and that's the last thing you'll remember. So that's it for now. If I have any more thoughts to bring up, I'll post those. But I think I'm going to make another blog about another issue that really bothers me. It's something I can't change, but maybe if we are guilty of this certain thing, maybe we can each change it a little bit. So that's it for now. Thanks.